How popular dating coaches are like far-left media, brainwashing with false authority. Ever wonder how mainstream media, news networks like fake news, CNN, MSNBC, others that manipulate what you think? Just like these far-left outlets use their platform to shape false narratives. Certain dating coaches or day game coaches that uses press releases, flashy credentials to create a facade of authority. They brainwash you, forming conclusions based on their agenda while ignoring undeniable results, like my 650 laid and polled testimonials, where it's overwritten by false authority. So, today we'll dive into how these fake news networks or these networks of scammers validating each other, whether it's in the news, the legacy far-left media, or these global networks in dating, builds a house of cards that's built on false authority. That's why it is time to break through their illusions. Think about this. Donald Trump spoke the truth, even when it was dismissed by the masses and labeled as controversial by the mainstream. Just like me, who've been posting one day game late testimonial after another, which is considered controversial and ignored because of their false authority. Yet in the end, he won, just like I won, just like Trump has won. I've faced countless doubts and skepticism, whether telling the truth in this John Elite News, backed by undeniable results. 650 laid and poll testimonials, that's right. And what did my competitors achieve during the 2024 inflation and economic downturn? One or mostly zero laid testimonials for day game, that's right. 1 or 0 laid testimonials. And their sheeple audience, they're woke, they're brainwashed, and they're overly emotional. They cling to their false authority of those who cannot deliver. Today, we're going to expose these parallels and break down how telling the truth and backing it up with real results, 650 laid and poll testimonials, makes all the difference. All right? So, first things first, why popular dating coaches or day game coaches has less laid testimonials than me. Popular dating coaches. It's really wild how brainwashed sheeps often think that just because a day game coach has a ton of followers and subscribers and shout outs from other platform scammers like a huge global network, it means they actually have day game late testimonials in 2024? No, they don't. But that's not always the case. I get it. You have been conditioned to look for authority and validation. It's everywhere, right? But today, I'm going to flip the script a little bit and share with you 3 big misconceptions that could really change the way you view who's actually worth listening to in this space. Honestly, I don't rely on the validation from other coaches who might not have the best track record, who only has 0 or 1 day game late testimonial. That's right. I don't need their validation. They need my validation. It's wild how brainwashed audiences often think they're just because of a day game coach has 50,000, 100,000, several hundred thousands, and they get shoutouts from other platform scammers. It means they actually have late testimonials in 2024, but that is not a reality. They don't actually have any day game late testimonials. You've been conditioned like sheep to seek authority and validation from the loudest and most popular voices in the room. But today I'm flipping the script. I'm going to review 3 big misconceptions that could change how you view who's worth listening to in this space. So let's be real. I don't rely on the approval of other dating coaches who don't have the best track record. For example, just this year. So I've amassed around 50 laid and poll testimonials. My total so far, 650 laid and poll testimonials for day game. 650. Meanwhile, ABCs of low self-esteem has scraped together 1 day game late testimonials this year in the last 2 years during the inflation. Just 1 late testimonial that came from a student in a Latin country, which is a lot easier. Which, let's face it, isn't the hardest place to succeed. Most other coaches are still recycling their content from 2021. with their old boot camp documentaries, desperately clinging to outdated methods that just don't work anymore. Even those guys who boast about their personal highlight counts, these tall self-proclaimed coaches, they're like talking about how great they are. They know so much about day game. These false authorities, they say they got 1,500 testimonials, but they never said laid testimonials or pickup laid testimonials. They're only about Tinder. If you talk about pickup, they only have a fraction of what I have. They don't have 650. They'll be lucky to even have 50, maybe even a lot less than that if it's just pickup. And also positive YouTube comments. These are false authority. They only manage one lay testimonial for tall self-proclaimed coaches this year in 2024. And that's mostly due to their popularity, not their results. Just one lay testimonial. That's right. Using the misery method. My apologies. The mystery method derivatives. And similar tactics are no longer cutting it. That's right. It's frustrating how these so-called authorities project a false sense of expertise, lulling people into a blind trust and shutting down critical thinking. Let me repeat myself. This year alone, in 2024, the hardest year for day game with the worst inflation before Donald Trump is in office. I have 50 day game laid and polled testimonials. That's right, 50 laid and polled. One student got like over 20 polls, but regardless, there's over 30-something lays. What do they have? 1 or 0 each. Just this year, I have 650 day game laid and polled testimonials. And trust me, just like the fake news media, the news and those other things cannot override my student results because of the fake news media. You cannot just say, oh, because these people have authority, just like the legacy media, MSNBC, fake news, CNN, and just like these global networks of scammers, it does not automatically mean that they actually have any sort of authority whatsoever. 650 laid and polled testimonials, while ABC has managed to scrape together only one laid testimonial for day game in the last 2 years during the inflation. And that one, it was from a student from a Latin country, which, let's be real, isn't exactly the hardest place to score. Most other dating coaches just recycled old content from 2021 because their methods have gone stale like moldy bread. They have expired like milk. They no longer have anything for the last few years. And the women that their students banged, if you look at their testimonial page, nobody ever exceeds a 7 out of 10. But they give you fake propaganda, just like the far left, that it is like their testimonials, even though they have so very few, and only from 2021, they're reposting old stuff, bootcamp documentaries. When you look at their women in their testimonial page, they are exactly 7 out of 10 at best, and only 2 or 3 of them are like that. The rest of them are ugly, busted trash. They're so ugly, they call every woman that they have banged, they falsely say it's one model here, another model. They banged another model, but you never see proof of that. And they call themselves the best for minorities. That's complete fake news. It's the same with the entire propaganda from CNN, MSNBC, fake news. I'm telling you, they're basically telling you what to think and gaslighting you. Even those guys who brag about their high lay counts or self-proclaimed high lay counts. Yeah, they've only got one lay testimonial this year, and that's mostly because of their popularity. Their so-called mystery method, or whatever they call it now, just isn't cutting it anymore. It's pretty frustrating, honestly. A lot of these popular dating coaches seem to be giving off this false sense of authority, virtue signaling, like the far left, and just to make people shut down their critical thinking like sheeps. So the first exposed cult brainwashing secret is comparing other day game coaches or dating coaches. To me, is like comparing the popular junk food to a restaurant who has the most Michelin stars and awards and is much healthier. That's right. Other popular dating coaches are exactly like junk food. They're not healthy, but they're popular. And when they're popular, they have this global network, their fake authority does not give them actual validity. So let's break this down. Comparing popular dating coaches like ABC's in mystery method to my approach is like comparing the far left mainstream media machine of CNN, MSNBC, and other fake news outlets to a trusted source of real information like John Elite Dating. This is John Elite News. Just like the far left media, they manipulate their viewers with selective reporting and sensationalism. Basically, they get boosted with their ideas. What does Mystery Method or Ross Jeffries know about day game when they can't even get a single student late for day game in their coaching? These popular dating coaches build a house of cards based on false authority. A guy that has not earned any authority, now they get boosted with authority, flashy press releases like ABC's, and big promises, and they don't deliver results. Especially other coaches who are posting 2021 day game late testimonials. In the USA, they're so great. But in reality, you look at my students in the United States, there's over 35 or 36, actually close to nearly 40 late and poll testimonials. The truth is they rely on empty hype, just like CNN fake news and MSNBC fake news. They thrive on polarizing narratives like the far left, the wokeism. They talk about all these bullshit concepts, and they're popular just like junk food. That keeps the viewer glued to the screen, but yet they miss the truth behind the story. Most people can see through the facade. I have 650 laid and polled testimonials, and they have 0. That's right. I have 650, and they have 0 so far. All right. So these mainstream coaches, ABCs of low self-esteem, Misery Method or Mystery Method, and others are making the dating world's equivalent of junk food. They're popular, but they're empty calories of dating advice. That's right. They have no idea what they're talking about. They have no idea. They attract a crowd, sure, with their global networks, but they aren't giving people any real lasting value in 2024. Just like the far left legacy media of the wokeism of MSNBC, CNN fake news. They're not giving any real lasting value. It's easy to brand around promises, especially when they got flashy credentials like these press releases, a video that nobody watched. Unfortunately, these fake testimonials, I wouldn't say they're fake, but they just don't have late testimonials. They have really unattractive women that they call themselves the best dating coach for minorities. But in reality, where the fuck are their Asian late testimonials? There's so very few. It's a complete joke. And second of all, the women that their students bang that they keep claiming are models, they all look like busted trash. They're only like 7 out of 10 in looks. My students are banging 9s and 10s this year, and these press release logos plastered everywhere for ABCs of low self-esteem. But this is popularity. It doesn't mean they're actually delivering any day game results. They're manufacturing credibility the same way fake news CNN and MSNBC shapes the public perception. With careful crafted but ultimately hollow stories, just like how Kamala Harris, she gives nothing but fake news because the teleprompters tell her exactly what to say. They're just giving fake news, and people are not happy. They don't want to hear what I have to say about this topic, especially the people that are woke and they're completely broke. If ABC's low self-esteem only has 1 day game late testimonial, but just 1, then what's the point? If they only have 1, they're gaslighting you. They have no expertise whatsoever. Only 5 views, but that's okay. Let me change the title a little bit. We'll try something else. So they only rely on manufacturer credibility the same way CNN and MSNBC shapes the public perception, with carefully crafted false authority where they are all platform scammers with their networks, that legacy media that nobody listens to anymore. For example, ABC's and Mystery may be popular coaches, much like junk food, but they lack substance. They got 1 late testimonial from the inflation for ABCs. The others got 2021 and before late testimonials, an easier time for day game during the pandemic, not during the inflation. Meanwhile, I've adapted and evolved my methods where students are getting laid month after month, year after year, even in the economic downturn 2024, just like Donald Trump, who stayed focused on the issues that mattered the most when he's campaigning. Focus on delivering real consistent results, 650 laid and poll testimonials the same way. And just to prove it, while these other dating coaches keeps dishing out the same old empty calories content. Just like how Donald Trump won the election with over 300 electoral votes. Like Kamala with 226, she lost. It was lost in a landslide. Trump won. I won the inflation in 2024 and 2023, 2022. These fake news, fake games, news outlets of networks of platform scammers only getting 0 or 1 day game late testimonial this year has brainwashed you. I ended up with 50 laid and pod testimonials of 2024. That's why you gotta stop listening to these empty calories, these fake news networks, these platform scammers. And just like CNN's tactics of gaslighting and biased reporting, these popular dating coaches control the narrative with a carefully managed image. They make their followers believe in authority they haven't earned, feeding them outdated methods and recycled ideas that's keeping them hooked on the brand that hasn't delivered in years. And it's all show. Just like the media machine obsessed with surface level stories, they brainwash people into thinking that their popularity equals credibility. Just because other dating coaches are popular and they have a fake network like MSNBC and fake news does not mean they actually deserve to be listened to. They're like junk food and false calories. Exactly, Trump is common sense. The far left media has brainwashed everybody, and it turns out every single person has voted for Donald Trump. And all the woke people, the ones who are offended, the ones who are emotional, the ones who are snowflakes, they all had a meltdown. They have a complete meltdown. And the same brainwashing tactics are used on you by these global networks in terms of pickup artistry. They use the same sort of global networks and they start gaslighting you with fake news. Exactly the same way the far left has tried. If you are a dating coach and you only have one student laid in a Latin country, then what you're telling other people are fake news. If you're a tall self-proclaimed coach who claims they have 1,500 testimonials, whatever that means, I have 650 laid and pod testimonials from pickup. Laid. If we were to count pickup, because anyone could go on Tinder in India for you and start swiping right for you. If that's the case, they can give you the phone number and pass you off to WhatsApp, and then you get her out. Is that pickup? That's not pickup. So there are 1,500 testimonials. They probably barely even have, for night game or whatever, they barely even have 50 to 70. In my speculation, in my opinion, they probably have less than that for late testimonials. They have so very few. That's right. So it's a fake news. When they start giving you all this propaganda, the less late testimonials they have, the more delusional that people become. Then they start listening to this stuff because they have no money and they're exactly very poor, just like the far left. The audience, the Democrats, the Democrats, the far left, they have no money, their audience is poor, and when their self-esteem goes down because they can't put food on the table, their ego goes up and the 4 traits of low self-esteem happens. They become more delusional. They half-ass everything, mass approaching. They start doing the wrong things, the wrong path, the sociopath, and they start quitting day game in mass droves. They're like MGTOW. Lots of people have turned MGTOW. They have given up. They think it's too hard, yet my students continue to get laid. That's right. So basically what I'm trying to say is that in the end, real authority is backed by student results, not manufactured prestige from these global networks or the numbers of followers that they have. I don't rely on the smoke and mirrors. I probably only have 1,200 something subscribers. That debunks the idea that popularity and prestige and fake news media means better. It means more sheeps. It means more zombies. It means more sociopaths, more delusions. I don't rely on smoke and mirrors or press releases like ABC's of low self-esteem. I rely on the results of students proven time and time again with each late testimonials and success stories. While the legacy media on the far left or the other popular dating coaches, they manipulate the narrative when you're more delusional. The popular dating coaches who are just like junk food, they're very dangerous. They say, oh, they're so attractive. They're models. They bang another model. Model my ass. The women are so fucking ugly, busted trash. None of them even pass 7 out of 10. But that's what you learn. You learn the bullshit methods of using alcohol maxing in their boot camps. It no longer works beyond 2021. This is the problem with popular dating coaches. They cling to a facade of authority. I'm here to break through the illusions and show you what real grounded and proven results look like. I know this is unscripted, but I'm going to go over some of the students' results, okay? So normally I'm not supposed to be sharing this stuff right now, but let me look at my Google Drive. I have some of the recent student late testimonials, and one student just made 3 of them. So here's a student that banged a German woman. So let's hear it. So here's the first one.
Your testimonials for college, working, playing, dating. I met the one in a class. Challenge. Light snack, tea, and better number. We made plans to meet. All we had dinner. After dinner, I took her back to my place. That's what happened. The current member of these are John, and the message that I give is always the same. And they're not going to watch these or not, to be honest. Someone who does watch these. I don't know what keep here. Well, social with John, I don't know what your resolutions are. I don't know what your doubts are.
Could be the financial problems and also the brainwashing from the other dating coaches you should not listen to with 01 late testimonials.
I can't imagine you doubt the results themselves, but I understand that you might doubt yourself. And you might see these results and think, well, the most of it, that's amazing. Or this is impossible for me.
Some people believe that only my students can get the results, and you're too zombie-ish and too poor and too unfocused to actually get the results. That's not true.
I just want to reverse it should be all possible. And it doesn't mean it's going to be, but it is very possible. I can tell you from my own experience, I've progressed so much so fast. The results that I wouldn't have been able to believe. Take this message and take action. That's the only thing for you to do is just take a first step. Because a journey of 1,000 miles, you can once.
Yes.
Right now, that's the only step you have to take. Don't worry about the rest. Just rest on its first job. To know that you're making an investment in yourself, that you'll be grateful for the rest of your life. Over. And that's all I had to say. I hope you enjoyed the testimonial. And I hope you take action for this. Because that's the only thing you have to do right now. Let's go have a college on.
All right. Let's look for his lay pick over here. Ah, it's over here. See if we can zoom this one in a little bit. I can't. But let's hold up to the camera. Okay, hopefully you can see it. But there's a woman over there on the bed. Don't worry, it's censored. There's her legs over there and whatever. And he banged her. So I wish I can get a closer and better pick. This thing won't let me zoom in. See if I can download it. There you go. She's wearing clothes. So basically, what does this say on it? Tell me more about how this happened. What month was it? So I didn't know. He just came back to the coaching after I yelled at him. And I yelled at him again. He got triggered as a snowflake. He's a Kamala Harris voter, by the way. Tell me more how this happened. What month was it? He said she was teaching a meditation class. After the class, and another friend had some food, and she joined it. I got her number, met her for dinner. Next night, she came back to my place afterwards and spent the night. July. She's European. I said, what type of European? 25 or so, I think, in German. That's a German woman. So he banged a German woman over there. And this is like not fake news, because that's already more lay testimonials than ABCs of low self-esteem and tall self-proclaimed high lay count guy. So in case the people missed the last one, okay, what I basically said was just like the far left media, they're like junk food, just like other dating coaches, right? when you look at other dating coaches and they tell you all this bullshit for these global networks, is like junk food. The second exposed cult brainwashing secret is worshipping sheeps or worships are a bunch of delusional sociopaths during the 2023 and 2024 inflation. The second exposed cult brainwashing secret is what I call the worshipping sheeple effect. The war sheeps who cling blindly to false authority are these false authority figures, whether in politics, whether in Kamala, whether the media like fake news CNN and fake news MSNBC, or other dating coaches with their fake news. If they only have 1 or 0 late testimonials in 2024, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're just basically speaking with confidence and moving their lips, and people are absorbing poison. So, whether this effect has only intensified during the inflation of 2023 and 2024, just like the fucking Democrats. People are so poor these days, they cannot put food on the table. They become delusional as people are finding it tougher to make financial choices, leaving many susceptible to anyone who promises a way out. So just like the far left, Democrats promoted policies that lead to skyrocketing inflation and economic strain with their wokeism and their 84 fucking genders, whatever the fuck that is, whatever that means. Certain dating coaches use flashy press releases like ABC's and carefully crafted online personas to create an illusion of success for their students, even reposting old bootcamp clips from 2021. They barely have anything to show for it. Their testimonial page is so small for the screenshots. It's ridiculous. How do they even have any authority? Doesn't make any sense. So they can pull in those who are worn down by the financial stress and uncertainty. There are certain people that can afford the day game boot camps, while everybody else, let's say level 1 for example, all level 1 people, they can barely afford Elite 30, which is $250. We'll call these level 1. Level 2 can afford $1,000, but they pay around $900 for my Elite Bundle 2. This is why I charge a little bit below $1,000. These are level 2 people. But level 2 people have become more poor. They have become level 1 sometimes. Level 1 become level 0. Level 3, what's level 3? Is the engineers for ABCs of low self-esteem. The engineers are the ones that are like Asians, they're like 40-something years old. These are crazy rich Asians, they're engineers. They have all the indispensable income in the world. They can travel with these other Asian dating coaches and go to Latin countries. They can go very far away. They can afford to go there. They can spend $50,000 easily, $10,000. They just bench-hold it away for these Latin tours. That's right. Level 3. You guys are not level 3. Most of the people that they have made money from, whether UP or UFO, UAP, that company, they basically gaslighted the Indians and they gaslighted the Middle Easterns. They've taken all their money with their fake Islam conversion. That's right. Dan Brazilian, all these other people, Andrew Tate, they always have this fake Islam conversion. That is the best marketing strategy, as they've been told, that makes 4 times the amount of money, because people in Dubai or the Middle East, they have money. So they sucker them, and they have 0 late testimonials for these people. But you've given them authority, these platform scammers, just because they're tall and white and good looking. You might say, they're not super good looking. Yes, they are. One of them is. The amount of dick sucking and lip smacking for these false authorities, these empty calories, who basically have so few late testimonials. And if they do have it, their women are all like 3 out of 10 for their students. So this brings us to winner and loser effect. So what the hell does winner and loser effect even mean, John? You might be wondering. In times of the economic strain, those who already are winning tends to win more. When it means that people that can afford stuff or they're doing well in business, they take more risk because they got more testosterone. If you were to put two mice in a tube, right, and you did an experiment, and you push one of the rat through the tube from the back, and you push it through the other one of them is going to perceive that it won, so it has more testosterone. In the future, if you put two rats in a tube, this one's going to knock the other one down because of the extra testosterone. The one who fell out from the back is going to have more cortisol stress. This is called the winner and loser effect. Due to the winner and loser effect, the hormone changes. So how does this relate to what we're saying now? For those who are winning, they'll win more, and those who are struggling will find it harder to get ahead because they'll have more cortisol stress in their system. When they have more cortisol stress, they'll feel like they're losing. That's why my students take ashwagandha, although they're trying to ban ashwagandha in all of Europe now. Ridiculous. That's why I'm buying as many as I can, normal ones, high dosage, as taking as much as I can. So basically, ashwagandha will reduce the cortisol a little bit, which can be helpful. But the winners win more, they get more testosterone, and the losers will lose more, and they'll have more cortisol. This is why people are delusional and stressed out, because of the cortisol effect. That's what's happening for the last 4 years with the far left media telling everybody how great the economy is when they only got 12,000 jobs, not like 120,000 this month. 12,000 jobs only in the entire United States. And they're like, what about previous jobs report? It's so great. But then you realize they fucking lied about it by over 100,000. Everyone feels like they're losing when they live in North America. If you're be luckier if you live in Europe, or you live in Latin countries, or you live in any other country, because you don't have a high cost of living. So lots of people felt like they're losing out in life. That's right. They felt like they're losing. They find it hard to get ahead. It's no different than dating coach world. Those with money, like engineers, can afford expensive boot camps or bench hold camps, throwing their cash at popular dating coaches that promise success, but they failed to deliver results in 2023 and 2024. They only have 0 for most people, or 1 lay testimonial and a platform of false authority. It's ridiculous. People have been gaslighted by false authority. They're throwing cashes, these engineers, these crazy rich Asians, at dating coaches, these fucking engineers, these nerdy fucking engineers. And the irony is these coaches often end up with just 1 or 0 day game lay testimonials in 2024. Despite making a fortune, I'm serious, guys, like these guys are making so much money is ridiculous. There are some coaches out there like Matt Artisan with 3 day game lay testimonials. They're making over 400,000. I'm not sure because the whole team or whatever they have. They're making that much. Self-proclaimed high lay count guys making 250,000 a month. ABCs, who knows? Queen Casanova canceled Casanova was making $600,000 for these world tour things that they got in trouble with the law. They're making that much money from them, which is ridiculous. So the amount of money they make is crazy. It's $10,000 per boot camp per head. But then they bring a bunch of them into a group. They make so much money during this inflation that the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer. They don't give a fuck about the poor people at all. And the rich people they pay for all the boot camps. It's being completely funded by all the boot camps out there. That's right. All the boot camps, all the money has been for these platform scammers for the last 2 years. They've been making money hands over fist with false authority. Even though I got more students laid than they do, it doesn't matter. It feels like there's a glass ceiling. No matter how many students I get laid, it gets ignored because you guys' attention and delusions are put towards these platform scammers. That's right. So despite them making a fortune, while the working class and those who need real results the most are often ignored by these so-called experts. It's, oh, you have no money, here's some more fake free advice. It's just like the far left legacy media, the fake news, CNN, MSNBC. They'll give them the narrative with their fake news and they'll buy into everything, but they can't afford anything. I work with the everyday person, just like Donald Trump. the ones who are dismissed by flashy marketing machines, while these popular dating coaches uses status, looks, or race to sell a dream. I focus on turning these losers into winners by helping them achieve real results. Just like Donald Trump has won most of the popular vote and also the electoral votes. He's got the most, just like I have the most late testimonials. But it hasn't been easy when you're struggling and it's easy to feel dismissed, especially when you listen to all these other platform scammers. And that's the problem. Is John, I listen to you, but I also listen to all these other coaches with 1 or 0 late testimonials. But the first year is going to crash a little bit with the previous economy. Next year is going to be rescued. Then next year is even better than the year afterwards. As you feel dismissed by the far left, by the other dating coaches, and you listen to them, just like you have listened to CNN News by accident, MSNBC, and then you got brainwashed. It's very easy to get brainwashed. So the second exposed cult secret is worshipping sheeps, right? So what I was saying was that the far left Democrats promoted policies that led to skyrocketing inflation. I talked about the economic strain and flashy press releases like ABCs of low self-esteem. And I talk about the winner-loser effect. The more people that wins, the more testosterone they get. The more they lose, the more they find it harder. Is not different than other dating coaches. Those with money like engineers, crazy rich Asians, as I said, they can afford expensive boot camps throwing cash at popular dating coaches that fail to deliver. And the irony is these dating coaches end up with 1 or 0 day-game late testimonials in 2024, despite making a fortune. Yes, that's right. Some of them are making 6 figures a month. Meanwhile, the working class that needs it the most, my audience, level 1 people, level 2, they're struggling and I still get them laid. These popular coaches, they use their looks because they're usually better looking than me. Look at the other Asian dating coaches. They use their looks. They also have huge muscles. I don't have any muscles. I'm a little bit more muscular now. I'm not on steroids, but at least I'm a little bit more fit. They use their looks, their height, their muscles, and people automatically trust them. This is called the halo effect. So the halo effect suggests that these tall, good-looking Asian dating coaches, or they have muscles, or other UFO, they're white, they must be good. The halo effect basically means you take one trait, oh, he's tall, he has muscles, or he's white, and he's good-looking. One trait. Now you have 10 bad traits about them. Working with Dan Brazilian, their system only gets 3 out of 10 looking women for their students. Not everyone gets results. You have all these like 10 bad traits, but now they're all flipped over and considered good because of the halo effect. That's right. Because of the halo effect has brainwashed people, just like the far left Democrats, that's their halo effect. That their wokeism is similar, where they claim authority and they don't have authority, yet they still act like they're the best. Even other coaches, when they have 0 or 1 late day-game late testimonials. That's it. So, as I'm saying, this brings us to the winner and loser effect again. In the economic strain of those who already are winning tends to win more, and those who are struggling will lose more. And the engineers can afford expensive boot camps, throwing their cash at popular dating coaches who promise success but fails to deliver results. And the irony is that these coaches often end up with just 1 or 0 day-game late testimonials in 2024, despite making a fortune, while the working class, those who need real results the most, are often ignored by these so-called experts. I work with the everyday person, the ones that are feeling the sting of losing, the loser effect. The ones dismissed by flashy marketing machine with these popular coaches, right, that uses status, looks, and race to sell a dream. I focus on turning losers into winners by helping them achieve real results. But it hasn't been easy when you're already struggling for you guys and you feel dismissed, just like Donald Trump's audience, just like my audience, as if your goals don't matter in dating. Especially when you've been bombarded by marketing that has prioritized appearance over results. In both politics and dating, the winner and loser effect is hard at work. The wealthier gets wealthier, like ABC's students who are basically 40-year-old Asian engineers or Indian engineers going to UFO, the money or these expensive programs, and the losers already struggling financially with low self-esteem have to listen to the far-left brainwashing of these other global platform scammers in their massive networks. This is where they worship or follow these influencers. Now they're listening to their advice and they're putting weeds all over their gardens because they only have one day game late testimonial. That's a problem. They become more vulnerable and they're latching onto the message that offers an escape, like the constant stress of self-doubt. The mainstream media like CNN and MSNBC and the popular dating coaches both exploit this. They manipulate followers to trust their words over real evidence, keeping people in a cycle of dependency and delusions over their brainwashing, just like the far left. They brainwash everybody with their democratic talking points. That's right, they brainwashed everybody. For those of you who are feeling the impact of this losing effect, it's easy to fall for these false authorities. What do you think about the elections? So for those feeling the impact of the losing effect, it's easy to fall for these false authorities. They make big promises, but they deliver very little. You can't listen to people that have 0 or 1 day game late testimonials filling your garden in your brain full of weeds. You can't do that. So when your cortisol is high and your confidence is low, they convince you their audiences that buying into their system will bring success. They're boot camps, they're bench camps, without any real testimonials to back it up. It's just another false promise. Meanwhile, I stand here with over 650 laid and poll testimonials, transforming lives, and inflation in the far left is spinning at as great jobs report, the greatest economy. Nobody feels it. Because these worships or worshippers are conditioned to follow the louder voices, they ignore the real student results that I show in favor of the illusions crafted by those who lack substance. In this world of fake news, like fake news CNN and MSNBC and all these other people that tell people, oh no, Trump's gonna lose. The winners will win more. The wealthy will continue to spend on boot camps. And the working class, who needs the support for dating, they often fall for the marketing that is popular but lacks any proof. Authority cannot overcome proof. I'm here to break that cycle, to help those experiencing the losing effect turn into winners with real life-changing results. Because as long as these worshippers exist, both the media outlets and popular dating coaches will continue to thrive on empty promises at the expense of those people that need genuine transformations.